Hi everyone, welcome to the Blue Dot Vlog and happy holidays since we're in the holiday stretch here. And what I'd like to focus on today is on love and grief. I think it's a question that comes up for people pretty often when they work with us, when they're in this world of the three principles, and when people really start to see that we basically, our thinking creates our reality moment to moment. Sometimes I refer to that as the movie theater metaphor. It's like there's a movie theater in our head, and whatever we're thinking, that's what's playing on the screen, and that's what we're experiencing. And just moment to moment, that's just the reality of it. That's just how it works. It's an inside out creation, an inside out almost illusion really of life, our life. And so inevitably at some point, the question comes up, well, if that's the case, is nothing real that's really challenging? So if you've lost a loved one, or if you feel grief about the state of the world, or if something in the world causes sadness, is that just a movie in your head? Is that just to be dismissed? That's a really important question, a really good one. And the answer is no. The answer is there is a reality out there. There is something real. We can step outside of the movie theater, and it doesn't have to be all, positive, all just positive thinking, or all just feel good. That's not really how it works. So here's how I see it. Outside the movie theater, meaning outside the thought creations that we live in so much of the time, there's a quiet. When the intellect settles, the mind settles, there's a space, an inner space that's just peaceful, that is settled and grounded in a way that doesn't exist in our movie theater. It doesn't exist when our mind is spinning and creating all of its, all of its daily experiences. And what that is outside our movie theater, what that is in that space of quiet, when our intellect, our little mind isn't involved, is really love. The way I experience it is whatever's happening outside of me, whenever I really drop into that quiet, I feel moved by something. And it's an experience of love in some universal way. It's not love for someone. It's not love that has an object. It's just an experience of love. It's an experience of, I guess I would call it my true nature outside of what I think. It feels like what I actually am, not what I think. And so given that, well, where does grief come in? When we see a deep loss, when we experience a deep loss or a deep sadness, well, where is that? What is that exactly? And here's how I see it. A mentor of mine, Dicken Bettinger, many of you may know, said something really profound once that has really stuck with me. And he said that unresisted sadness is love. That when you're in that space of love, when you're really in that pure experience of love, unfiltered, unmitigated by thought, by all of the creations of our ego, in that purity of thought, you can experience deep sadness. But it's very pure. It's just a free-flowing, it's sort of the flip side of love. And it's very different than the experience of sadness that's full of tension and angst that we can think our way to with thoughts like, why me, and why did this happen? It's not just, and I can't live with it. And all of the details that our personal mind creates, that has a very different flavor. It's a flavor that's full of tension. It's a flavor that's full of stress. It can be full of anger, and it's a pain that's can be really unbearable. Whereas when our mind is quiet and we're in that deep space, we're inhabiting more of our true nature, inhabiting more of that free-flowing love that's somehow what this universe is made of. We can feel sadness, we can feel grief, but there's a purity to it. There's a purity to it that's a signal that we're in that uncomplicated flow. And I think it's a really important thing to know, because life is not easy. We do experience loss, sometimes crushing loss of people we love. But also, it's not only about loss of people we love, we can also feel grief about a planet that is really suffering, sadly, by our hand. That there's suffering not of even people who are close to us, but all over the globe, and not just humans, but other species as well. And if we really are open-hearted and feel a connection to others, to the world, if we really come from an open-hearted place where we're really feeling that love, I think it's inevitable that part of that, the flip side of it, the sort of the other side of it, can be sadness. And that's perfectly normal and healthy and very different than the sadness that we manufacture with our little mind. So that's my little bit today about love and grief. And I hope it's helpful. And happy holidays, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next time.